We turn our attention now to the recurve men's team gold medal match, where Germany feature again. And they will go up against the team from the Netherlands. Judge and coaches out at the shooting line. So it's time to welcome the athletes.
On target number 1, Germany, Matthias Kramer, Florian Unruh, and Moritz Visser. On target number 2, Netherlands, Ish Bruksma, Senna Roos, Steve Weiler. Your line judge for this match, David Vostres.
So there we have it, the lineup for the German team. Ranked number 1 after the ranking round, Matthias Kramer, Florian Unruh and Moritz Visser. And Chef, over to you to announce the Dutch team. Who's in that lineup?
So for the Dutch team we have Steve Weiler and Gijs Broeksma, but also newly added to the team, changed from the Belgian team, Senna Roos. He was previously shooting for the Belgian team and had a double passport and decided not to compete for a year for Belgium and is now competing for the Netherlands.
There we go. Why not let a Dutchman introduce the Dutch names? Up first, though, it's Germany. And Matthias Kramer.
8, possibly 9.
Sorry, that was Moritz Visser.
Moritz, yeah.
Yeah, not Kramer. Kramer goes now. And the most experienced member of the team, Florian Unruh.
9.
Been an interesting route for the Germans to come through to this final. They beat Sweden on a shoot-off, Italy in a shoot-off, and then Slovakia, a comfortable 5-1 win. Netherlands start with Steve Weiler.
7, possibly 8.
Looked like it was cutting the line for me, Chef. I thought that was an 8.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Brooksma also into the 8.
I
That's
think
unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, what I overheard is that they were discussing where to aim off, judging by where Germany was hitting.
9.
But that's always a risky strategy because you don't know if the Germans have information from the teammates. They must have information from their female teammates, and they might have adjusted their sight. So then, yeah, do you really want to base your sight settings on the opposing team?
I have to say, for a man that I know is supporting the Dutch team, that was a very balanced response that you gave to that conversation. But you can see how blustery it is on that shooting line.
9.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to do something to... you have to take the wind into account. You cannot just say, like, I'll pretend that, like, it's not there. Or you can, but then you won't hit the middle.
Yeah, you're going to be in trouble. Unruh. Oh, Unruh, when he had a chance to really put some serious pressure on puts it right and into the 7. And I think the wind is a factor here, isn't it? Because you look at those flags in the background there, and then when we get a look down the range, the flags are blowing completely differently.
Yeah.
10.
Solid stuff from the Dutch. 6 to share the points in the first set.
So what they're doing, and I think is something we've done for a long time, and I say we even though I'm not in the team anymore, they tell the other teammates when you get off the line, okay, I aimed over there and it hit there, so then do with that information what you can. But then also when you step onto the line, you just do like a last check of where the wind is going, and then depend on your teammates. So your teammates have a way better view of the whole field than you do when you're stepping onto the line. So then your teammates will tell you where to aim off, and then you can, for yourself, you can decide like, okay, I think that's a good idea, or maybe I don't trust it as much, but you can at least focus on your shot rather than having to look at the flags and constantly be mindful of where the wind is going. So they give it out of their own hands, and they say like, okay, my teammates will tell me where I should aim off rather than I will have to decide that for myself.
If we just put it in very simple terms, because that is a very detailed and very interesting bit of information you've given us, but here, I think the key thing really is the fact that there's a massive building right next to the shooting line, and there's a big gap after that building. So the wind on the 70-meter range is very different on the shooting line to, what, 50 meters down the range, and the wind probably affects the arrow in those last 20 meters more than others. So as you were saying, your teammates have a better view of that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and also because you cannot focus on two things at the same time. There are some misconception of people thinking they can, but it's just neurologically impossible from what I understand. So then you kind of want to focus on this one thing rather than trying to do two things at the same time.
If you're wondering, it's Chef Vandenberg, Olympic archer from the Netherlands, who's our expert analyst. I'm really looking forward to the season ahead, as Chef will join me for all of the High and Archery World Cups. Here, though, at the European Grand Prix, Netherlands lead Germany 2-0.
That was a much better shot from Florian. In the last end, the 7 on the right, you could see that it took a bit longer after the clicker before it released, and I think that was because his sight was drifting off a bit. This one was just on rhythm. That was good.
9.
And that was actually a great example of what I told about Florian, because Steve did a similar thing, but managed to still correct it into the 9, but it wasn't the best shot I've ever seen.
8. 9.
These are making a couple of changes there on his site.
10.
But clearly the communication between the Germans is good.
Yeah, and I keep going back to it, and it's almost becoming this cliche thing, but the communication is key in these situations.
10.
Of course, if you're shooting in an individual setting, you also have to fix it by yourself, and you only have your coach behind you. But then it's different in the sense that you cannot depend on your teammates, and you don't have to depend on your teammates.
10.
A way better shot from Steve there.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Thank you.
Ten.
Need another one to share the points. Drifted over into the 8 for a 55. So a 54 won them the first set. A 55 is not enough for the second. And you have to say that 3 9s and 3 10s from the Germans. Again, we're just looking at raw score. Their performance has improved by some way.
Yeah, and I feel like they have kind of figured out where to aim now, whereas I feel the Dutch team is still discussing, like, why is the arrow going there, or what am I doing wrong for the arrow to go there. And German has a bit more, they're a bit more established, so I mean, I'm maybe not supposed to say it, but I'm hoping that the Dutch team can turn this around. This momentum.
Of course you can say it. Yeah, that's fine. That's fair enough. Well, I've got one question for you though, and I'm sorry if it's a little bit naive, but Steve Weiler is the most experienced on the team. I mean, Heisbruksma also has a huge amount of experience, but why is Weiler not shooting in the anchor position for the Dutch team?
So, like I said before, also Ella was also not shooting in the last position, even though she was the most experienced. I think the opening and the anchor are equally stressful or important. Steve has a quick shot if he needs it, and what he can do is get out the gates fast and just go for it, sort of. So I think they put him in the beginning because he wants to get that match started, and he wants to show the world what they're made of, sort of. And then Senna, I think, can probably keep his cool in the last position. That's what I'm guessing, but I've never shot team with Senna, so I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly.
Fascinating insight into the team lineups. It's not as simple as the best goes last. That is for sure. Germany leveled up 2 apiece against the Netherlands in the recurve. I keep saying compound. Recurve men's team competition. 2 apiece. Set number 3 starts with a Visa 10.
Pretty solid shooting now, and I feel like maybe the wind has calmed down a little bit because you can see that there's less doubt in the shot and less movement. Yeah, the flags are only slightly wavering.
10.
The Germans took a set to get into this one. But now look in fine fettle.
10.
And as you said, Chef, putting Steve Weiler out first gives you that opportunity for, one, a fast shot to save time for the rest of the team, and 2
Yeah.
to hit a big score.
8.
Kom aan, Senna. Kom jongen.
10.
Gutes Timing. Links.
9.
It was a bit slow on the clicker again. It's just that little bit. You don't need to be super fast on the clicker, but you kind of want it to be consistent or at least logical. And sometimes, if the shot doesn't go the way you want it, there is a bit of a delay in your shot, and that's typically not a good sign.
10.
I mean, I'm talking about this arrow as if it's a really bad shot, but he still just hit a perfectly good 9. So don't get me wrong, but you could see why it didn't go in the middle.
8.
Ooh. So the target gettable now for the Netherlands, a 58 available with 310, so they can afford to drop 1 point over the next 3 arrows. And Chef referred there to the clicker. Oh, a bit of Bo Quando there from Steve Weiler, but puts it into the 10. Jeff was referring to the clicker. If you look at the tip of the arrow at full draw, there's a little bit of metal at the end of the piece, or probably carbon fibre, I should say,
in
that
some
flicks
cases.
across. And that is like a switch that tells the archer to release effectively. You'll see it right here at the tip. It's silver. There's the click. Hence it's called a clicker. But 2 8s for a 54. And that set goes to the German team, subject, of course, to confirmation from the target judge. But this is a huge turnaround, isn't it, Chef?
Yeah, in this set there was a bit of back and forth in the way that, or in the sense that Germany shot a 30 first and then kind of shot 27, so there was a bit of an open door. But then there was hope when Steve shot their 10, and then with Gijs's 8, like all hope was diminished. So yeah, within one of those sets you can have a lot of emotions going on, and a lot of dynamic in the competition as well.
At any point, does a team in a gold medal match, I suppose, in any kind of knockout match, does a team reconfigure their order?
In some cases, yeah. I remember I shot against the French team in Berlin, and I think it was 2017 maybe, where they weren't shooting that great, and then they changed their team order, and then they suddenly shot great. So yeah, in some cases, somebody will say like, I'm not feeling comfortable in this current position, so can we swap it around, or it's a coach's call. If the coach sees that something is not going great in a certain position, and it's something that can be remedied by just changing around the team composition, then yeah, why not?
Not likely to happen here, though, right?
No, I don't see that happening in this match.
Steve Weiler there, doffing his cap as they enter the 4th set here. It's a must-win set for the Dutch team. If they can take it, we're going to have a shoot-off. Steve Weiler on the shooting line to start the comeback from the Netherlands.
9.
Kom maar, Gijs.
Kom maar jongen, gewoon sterk op midden. Volop. Geen twijfel. Ga maar op.
9.
Kom maar, Senna.
Kom maar, Senna.
Klein beetje wind, maar trek. Volle bak. Uitsneden, jongen.
10. 9.
So again, not bad. I mean, they're hitting the gold, but it's just you need to shoot 10s if you want to put any pressure on the opposing team.
Nine, maybe 10.
Looks like there's clear air there. I'd fancy that will be called a 9. It's been marked for a measure.
10.
The door opens.
I feel like that's the theme of this match so far. Every time it's like, oh, this is definitely going this way, and then something happens, and then it turns around again.
Eight.
And again,
Come on, guys.
an unexpected 8 from Steve Weiler. Oh, another one out to the right.
Kom aan, Senna. Maak een goede schot van, jongen.
Nine, maybe 10.
That one a bit too close to call. So 52 or 53. $57 available to Germany.
10.
Still available to Germany.
I think the Dutch team is now hoping for suddenly a gust of wind or something in that.
10.
They definitely need to be hoping for something massive here, because a 6 is enough for Unruh and Germany to take gold here. Puts it into the 9 for a provisional 56. And that means that Germany have taken this one, and the Dutch are already over to shake their hands. They know it's gone, this one. But silver medal for the Netherlands, gold for Germany. And to be honest, when you looked at it after the first set, you thought the Netherlands were going to run away with this one. But the Germans fought back immediately and have taken it 6-2. Recurve men's team, gold medalists, Germany. Netherlands taking the silver medal, and Ukraine beat Slovakia 6-0 for the bronze medal in this competition.